This is your daily market review for Thursday, March 14th, 2024. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market review for Thursday, March 14th, 2024. Hopefully you're having a good day. Hopefully you're rolling up your stops. Hopefully you're being cognizant of the market's choppy action. As we've talked about, leaders stopped leading. Laggards kind of popped here and there, but the overall market breadth, action, and potential looks like it's topped. Again, we've shown into the evidence what it looks like, why, how, and what to expect moving forward. As we go into next week, remember, we do have a big week. We have the FOMC day, and we also have NVIDIA's, conference where they're going to be talking about their products. Be careful out there. Again, if you're long the market, raise your stops. If you're short, hopefully you defined your risk. You know exactly where you are, what to expect, and don't deviate. There's a lot of people out there trying to do a lot of different things, overtrade, and play games. And I'm telling you right now, be careful. If you have any questions about real estate, oh boy, it's going to be an interesting spring/summer. Please don't hesitate to reach out. Do not go list with your Uncle Bobby, your Aunt Sally. If you want to maximize your returns, you want to maximize your deals, you want to work with a great agent, why would you go to a discount lawyer, a discount dentist, a discount doctor? If you have real issues, if real estate, say your home is your biggest asset, do not play games with it. Do not leave money on the table. Always here to help. Reach out. Let me put you in contact with an agent anywhere in the country or someone I know personally or myself if needed. Again, if we refer you out, you get me as well as a great agent to help you locally, whether you're buying, selling your personal property or investment properties. Always here to help. All right, if you want to schedule a chat, use the Zoom link. We can hang out, Calendly, follow on the website. Boom, 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 recommended readings, get out of, I'm telling you, Schwab, somebody's going under. Check out Interactive Brokers and get all your discounts or your deals. Get your 5.5%, homie. All right, follow, like, subscribe on YouTube. I really appreciate the comments, interactions, whether this is not on YouTube or anything. It's appreciated. Also, follow on Twitter. I appreciate you guys. I really do. All right, post most trades. Again, today's been a rough day. People in the Discord room know that, again, whether you know me or not, I've been dealing with some issues with the family stuff, and I apologize. I did not get to post today. You know me. I want to, but I also want to be transparent that if I'm not, it's not because I'm disappearing. Trust me. I have sadly a lot of things going on, and it just, I don't know. Personal life is personal life. We'll keep it there, but pray for me. I appreciate it, y'all. All right, let's get into it. Fed watch tool again with the PPI today. Again, people are going to start talking about raising rates, but they're not going to do anything. Let's be honest. The Bitcoin, we talked about being careful up here. Again, longer term, I don't doubt if Bitcoin is the coin, then it's going to go higher. But as we've said with like gold, silver, miners, and talked about this over and over overall. Like, again, I like oil, gas, commodities long term because when the money rotates out of these tech names because they're trading at a bazillion times future earnings, and you have certain names like even VALE trading at like maybe 1 or 2 PE. Some of these material names, they look ripe for the longer term. Again, think about this in the tech bubble. Where did money go after tech bubble? Went into housing, went into commodities. Remember the good old $160 or $130 oil, 2008, 2009? I'm telling you, that kind of crap is coming in. I just don't know when. Speaking of good old Texas tea, chopping around here again. Is this a breakout? I mean, this has got to put the Feds on red alert. We've talked about the huge short interest. Same thing, retesting on natural gas. If you took the KOLD trade in the 150s, you're looking good. Get excited about that for folks because I get a few here and there. I appreciate, again, all the love and support. Y'all with the generous donations, keep them coming. I'll try to keep fire coming again. And it's one of those things. If I'm wrong, keep your losses small. That's the first thing. You go, dollar's starting to wakey. TLT, we said, watch the channel high. Uh-oh. Higher rates. We'll see. Again, I think the market, it's hard to tell with rates. I'm just watching them. I want to see a volatility because I could see rates going higher, but then also could see if the market starts getting throttled, people buy bonds. Look at this, VIX. We talked about the channel lows. If you're watching the daily market reviews, leave a comment like you're seeing this stuff. You're not just sitting here going bullish with your head up your butt, going, oh, things are going to be fine. You know the levels. You have set alarms. You're waiting. Here we talked about the VIX bouncing too, like finding its finding its way. Good old SPY. I mean, consider, it's only down $1 again. We agree it's holding. It said watch the 8 and 10 day. So far, it's holding up. QQQQ. So far, it's trying. We talked about the channel high 20 days. Again, watch these levels because if they break, the dam opens. It's hard not to ignore the IWM. Look at this. Looks toppy. Yikes. DM. Chopping. Holding the 20 day. Gold. We've talked about. I love gold long term. If you got physical, great. Stick it under your couch. Obviously, I stick mine under my couch. No, hold on to it. Have it in your safe, your safety deposit box. I like it long term. Obviously, we talked about this is a breakout. Okay, I will trust it with oomph when the Feds go full liquidity bomb. And when I say go full liquidity bomb, I mean, all right, they go into cutting rates because the economy just falls off a cliff, which we've talked about economically. It looks like it. But then silver will rise. Again, the best trade will probably be silver and the miners in the sense of percentage returns. It'll be nutty. But again, I don't trust them until the Feds pivot because I've seen this before where everyone tries to front run this stuff. And then obviously the Feds try to do what? Pull the liquidity near term, right? They try to get inflation under control. Commodities get slammed near term. These things get crushed. And when they do, that bottom is in and then it's full game on. If it doesn't happen this time, then that's the rare occasion. You got to assume similar like sit-ups, like AM, AG. Again, like I love these names. Big choppy, not sloppiness. Again, we talked about Newmont hitting the channel lows, has due to bounce. Newmont should be in the 70s. PAAS. All these names. Like again, they're providing deep, tremendous value in time, but just if you own them and you got the bottoms, good. Just don't be surprised if they get slapped around here and there. And if they rise, even better. Again, I'd rather be late than early on these names because I've been early so many times in my career and it's just absolutely punished me. TSM. 8 and 10 day. We talked about that. It looks like a top. Good old Macron. Talked about fake breakout, holding the 20 day. That does not look good. But just remember, the first drops usually get bought at some point. But is this all you're going to get? I don't know. These blowouts, we've talked about, the highs are in. Look at AM Dizzle. Trying to bounce, holding the trend line, gaps down, backs up over it. NVIDIA going into next week. Yikes. Talked about some of the options play. I'm not surprised they showed some big call action into next week. If I sold the stock and wanted to maintain some sort of risk outstanding, there you go. That's how I'd look at it. I'm not surprised people would buy calls, sell the stock, and then go, all right, well, we've defined our risk. SMCI, again, long term, I think this is probably a winner, but don't be surprised when it gets slapped around. Intel, we talked about this being a doob. Roof. And then you got SMH. Look at this, making new lows, breaking the channel. Again, if you bought the Soxus down in the 3s, I think you're going to be happy. Again, define your risk. Adobe, earnings, probably now. Oh, hold on. Let's see where it's at. All right, gets close to the 100-day. Oh, after hours, back at 5. Here, let's just pull it up. Again, I don't have the numbers in front of me, just looking at. There we go. Not bullish. Apple holding the 170s for now. Look at this dog. You expect the market's making new highs and Apple's not. Man, that's interesting. Amazon, got to give it credit, holding up. Said watching the channel, waiting for the 20-day to break. Meta high, watching the 20-day. CRM, this one's been acting pretty darn well. Same thing, holding up. Guggenheim, I didn't realize it's up 3.5. Wow, okay. Talked about yesterday, it'd be probably a pretty good area to short here. Look at this. Okay, is it the gap fill? Again, dead cat bounce? I don't know. These are hard because they're not at the highs and they are getting the bounce. Here's Microsoft. Is this breaking out? Because we've seen some breakouts like Nucor and then they just give it back. We've seen breakouts like NDAQ and you're like, oh, it's going, and gives it up. MicroStrategy. Again, I think longer term, I don't know what the right value of this thing is. It's probably worth a lot more if Bitcoin goes crazy. But it's going to have volatility. That's all I can say. 10 cuidado. Netflix, I'm impressed someone's buying this, but good luck. Roblox, we talked about 47 failure constantly and just chopping around. Pan, W. There you go. Again, I like this name. If Pelosi likes this, there's probably some sort of cybersecurity threat coming. Tesla, just now you're breaking out of the channel. Rutro raggy. I don't know. It's just leave it alone. Airbnb holding up pretty well. Again, some names were up, some were down. You've got a reference there. Costco post earnings. Here you go, another earnings debacle. But watching, I mean, again, their numbers weren't bad, but just watch the 20-day. Starbucks, this thing is forever flagging, floating, dumping. I think it's going a lot lower in time, a lot lower, but it just won't get there one day. Federal Express, again, keeps holding up. You would think would be great, but look at the wicks. We said multi-day ranges. If you see a multi-day range, watch it. Watch it tightly. Caterpillar, meow. Holding up pretty good. Interesting, because again, it is what it is. Here's like Nucor. Here you go. Talk about fake breakout. Like, here we go. We're taking out new highs. Gives it up. Taking out new high. Gives it up. X, as I told you guys, probably not going to get bolt out by Nippon Steel. Feels the gap. I still think there's going to be bidders at some point. Right? Just keep an eye on it. Okay? The VALE. Chopping. I mean, look at that action post XDiv. Man, I don't know how low these things can go, but they can get crushed. Arrow holding up pretty well off of the lows. CCJ, we talked about this one, right? Like, everybody loves uranium. Like, you got to hold the 30s up in the low 40s. Now you're hitting the 200-day, 2-day range. If you're a bull, it has to hold. If it doesn't, you got to run. You got to set your stops. You got to go. CF, again, we like ag long term. You got to eat. Chopping around. Chop, 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 chop. Mosaic. Chop, 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 chop. NTR. Chop, 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 chop. Here, a little theme here of chop, chop, chop. 100-day. AA. 200-day. Keep an eye on it. All right, financials. Yeah. Volume increasing. Little rally into the close. Okay. Again, I mean, I think they hold all the bags for all the financial problems, but we'll see what happens. That does not look good for JP Mo. We talked about Morgan Stanley getting a little bounce, chopping around, but it's just look laggy. Bank of America, I mean, this one's been holding up better, but you still have like a little trend channel. Keep it on. It doesn't look amazing. Goldman Sachs, talked about 395 every single time. Oops. KRE, right? Uh-oh. Junior banks. Really holding on to that 100-day. Hopefully, if you're watching it, that's what you're watching. XBI, again, here's a fake breakout. It's confirmed. Whee! Could it hold here? I don't know. I mean, for OPEX, yeah, it just doesn't look that good. We talked about solar being crap anytime it bounces. Flop Sedge. I mean, I've said this. I think Sedge is going back to where it started, way down lower. Choppy action. ENPH, if you shorted this around the 200-day, looking good. Love it. For solar, talked about these things. Like, they have ceilings on them. Look at that. You really wanted to see the 200-day. Either way, this candle opens the door. Now, remember, it is OPEX, so you could get a little bounce chop on Friday. But just do what you got to do. HY. Again, who in their right mind wants to buy corporate debt going into a... I mean, I wouldn't say it's just an American slowdown. Like, it's a global growth slowdown. We know this. Be careful. All right, oil, here we go. The breaking out. New highs. UNG, we talked about this one. Watching the lows when it would retest, like where it was. Of course, that's why you watch natural gas futures. But then look at KOLD. We said this. Watch this area. Watch it. If you get a retest, you know what to do, player. XOP, holding up pretty well. Again, got to give credit where credit's due. Another doji and a new high. Watch this, because if you want, like we talked about the dojis, you need follow through on dojis. It's okay to take a pause. It can be a doji sandwich before making higher highs. Keep it on. Again, remember, there's a huge short interest. ExxonMobil, nice call. Jay Solstice was talking about this, seeing some of the call action, selling some puts. Looky good. Valero. This is interesting. Again, another doji. I mean, man, these names had big moves. MPC, look at this yesterday. Like, pow. Holding up pretty well. CVE, getting up. I mean, we talked about, like, broke the trend line. Then it gets stuck at the 200-day. Here you go. Roll up your stops. Occidental. It's an accident. Big trading range. This one's tough. I mean, maybe it gets up in this. I mean, not maybe, but if oil holds up, it's definitely getting in the 60s, upper 60s. EQT, which we talked about. Check that out. chopping around. Again, they're buying out some midstream partner, whatever. I think that'll be a good deal in the long run. And then Flex LNG, natural gas exporting. Again, I love this stock when it gets crushed. Juicy dividend. All right, if you have any questions, please reach out. Always here to help. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I appreciate it. Leave a comment below. Do not hesitate to reach out on Calendly. Let me know how I can help you grow your business, your trading, or your real estate portfolio. All right, talk to you guys and gals later. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.